Hello, everyone. Welcome back to The Quiet Part Out Loud. I am Alex.
And I'm Nuvyn.
And today I'd like to talk about parenting, specifically boys.
Yeah.
So I have two boys. They're 2 years apart. They're little, 5 and 7.
Mm-hmm.
And you have two boys, but you also have...
But I got a girl, right? Girl. Who is just perpetually annoyed with her brothers.
As you would be.
The middle child and the only daughter.
Yeah. And I actually was listening to a podcast the other day that was talking about how brains develop. And it was fascinating. And I don't remember what it was called or where I listened to it. And so I cannot quote it or reference it. But it was fascinating to hear about how boys' brains develop and you should parent them differently. And obviously I have no tips from it because I can't remember. But I'm curious. I am purposefully doing things with my boys to build them into like these strong, emotionally intelligent men. But I'm curious if you are parenting your children differently.
Do I parent my boys differently than my girl?
Mm-hmm.
I am equally ruthless to all of them. My parenting is usually, stop that.
Don't do that.
Yeah. Stop nipping at each other. They do that all the time, right? That's the phase that they're in right now. You know what is a great book? Nurture Shock. Did you read that?
No, thank you.
So good.
Okay.
So good. And it actually talks about the importance of failure for your kids to experience that and how you cultivate resiliency. I do think that I am more pronounced in calling out behaviors in the boys than that reinforce a societal norm or assumption that I don't want to perpetuate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and they know better. Like, I do not cook, and I have accepted that, and I do not enjoy it. And I don't even enjoy watching cooking shows.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for me, eating is like a means to an end. And I do not take pleasure in making meals for other people, let alone myself. So you can clearly tell I've been through the 12-step program of, accepting the fact that I actually despise cooking. So they would never expect that from me, not as a mother or as a woman.
And in your co-parenting relationship, do you hold specific roles or is that very equal as well?
Gosh, you know what? That's where things get tricky. Because and I don't know if it is a roles and responsibilities because you just have to divide and conquer to survive the chaos that is parenting, being successful professionals, looking after parents, getting kids to activities on time, finding time to like meditate and go to the gym and all of the pressures that we put upon ourselves, that there are assumptions, whether it's household or it primarily is around like vehicles, like winter tires.
Taxi driver. Oh, okay.
Oh, like who's looking?
Yes.
Absolutely. I could not do vehicle maintenance. I'd probably perish on the side of the road. Than
maintain your vehicle.
Yeah.
Samesies.
Right?
No way.
But is that a gender thing or is that just a divide and conquer? And okay, you have your lane, I have my lane.
That's a very good question. I also, to your point about cooking, I think everyone has their nemesis household task. Mine is dishes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I do not like doing the dishes. Everything can go in the dishwasher. Or Mike, my husband, does the dishes. That is the task that he does. And he actually has created an excuse for himself to not do them at night and instead do them in the morning because then the boys are sitting watching him do the dishes.
Well,
this is his excuse, is that
but
they are observing him do this task. But I do think that cars, I don't know. I don't like taking care of my car either. When I got my license, my grandfather was an airplane mechanic in the Air Force, and then he was a car mechanic. And he taught me how to change my tires. And I gladly did that because it was the only time he was excited to do something with me.
Oh, that's nice.
So I do know how to change a tire and my oil, although I probably could not remember or do it on my current vehicle. But I did learn
I learned how to change a tire. And in fact, I was speaking in Edmonton last year at the Enbridge Leadership Retreat on behalf of Access Connects. And I got a flat tire.
And you did it?
No, because I didn't realize they were locked. Those.
Yeah.
And I'm cursing my way trying to get these lug nuts off. And instead I just drove on the rim to whatever tire, Cal Tire. There's no shortage of those places.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have to be back in Calgary in 3.5 hours. But then they made me buy out 4 new tires rather than just replace one. And apparently it was a thing that they were like...
Because you're driving home.
No, they were like, your tires need to wear at the same time, And I'm like, are you just telling me this because I'm a woman? I actually said that to the guy. Yeah. And then I called other people that I knew and I was like, is this legit? Do I have to replace all 4 tires at once?
And you did.
I did, yeah.
Well, to that point, do we teach our boys and our girls the same tasks? These seem like life skills, but we've learned them, but we don't.
So what are some...
Activate them.
That's true, yes. What are some skills and some tasks that you need to make sure that you're teaching your children, boys and girls, that perhaps you learned as a child, but now their lives are pretty comfortable?
I think that the things that I'm actively doing for my boys, and I cannot say if I would do this differently for a girl, and I do not know if girls are different. I am making sure that they are emotionally intelligent enough where they can name and discuss their feelings. So I am purposely surrounding them with mentors and role models who are emotionally intelligent and can have those conversations, and that they can view them in these activities. So we have family members that they are around and they are discussing their feelings, and that's really important. And I think men in our society are kind of rewarded by stoicism, and we are told them to toughen up and don't cry, and I'm trying really hard to not create these men who are afraid to show their emotions. I also think that I more subscribe to birth order theory than gender.
Yeah.
Because my children are very different.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can say the same. My oldest is so sensitive, and he's the one that we've had to work really hard with about naming his emotions and talking about them. And then my second is just like a bulldozer, and he kind of powers through. So I don't know. What's your
They're all very different, and they all on International Women's Day, I probably celebrate that like I celebrate Christmas in the house. They know that, regardless of whether you're a boy or a girl, you can, be whatever you want to be, and that there are no stereotypical roles for men and women. And it's great to see that becoming more the norm. Yeah. And, particularly when you have households where both parents are working and nobody likes to cook. They would never think of me in the kitchen, ever. Yeah. They would revolt because we'd be having, Cheerios for dinner for the 5th day in a row. But I do think that the birth order probably permeates more of influences more of their nature, nurture personalities than whether they're a boy or a girl.
And in terms of activities, and influence, external influence, this is what keeps me up at night, is for my boys, there are video games and there are these external influences that will be fighting against what I am trying to build in them. And so are there things that you will or will not allow them to do that is creeping into your life?
And I'm probably more strict. I know I am more strict than many of the other parents. Very strict on social media. My daughter is 14 and, I think she's one of the only people in her friend group who doesn't have social media, and I won't let her have it till she's 16. And she has to write a paper on and tell me about the risks associated with social media and privacy policies and settings. I need her to be able to understand that before I give her the freedom to be able to create that. And I did that with her brother too. When he turned 16, he had to write an essay.
Does she have a phone?
She has a phone, yeah. Yeah, she has a phone because I need to communicate with her. She never answers it, but it does exist. Ellie, text me back. Yeah. So I don't let the kids play violent video games. There's no guns in my household. Like I'm very strict on some things, but I make sure that they understand why.
Yeah.
And that these are my beliefs. And as their mother, it's my job to ensure that I'm giving them some boundaries and some rationale as to here's how I feel about the level of gun violence in our society. And so as a result, there are no guns in our house. There's no play guns. They're not allowed to do any video games related to guns because this is what I feel like I can do to contribute to a society that is maybe less focused on violence.
Yeah.
But you have to stick with it. You have to, you have to be strict about that. Like they will see into there if there's a moment of weakness. Well, what about just this game?
Yes.
Or this is a pretend gun in some, we're also not a very video game heavy household anyway.
Yeah. And I'm just noticing, the power and influence of the kids at school and what they're exposed to in their daily life is, there's all of these things creeping in that they didn't get in our house. Whether it's weird sayings or dance moves or strange requests for Christmas gifts. But
yes, and that will become more and more. But Nurture Shock, that's a great book.
That's a good recommendation. I love a book recommendation. Okay.
Yes, I love how we usually start or end our podcast with either a movie or a book.
Yeah, we do.
And so this one, everybody check out Nurture Shock. Very good.
Thank you.
The Quiet Part Out Loud is produced by Access Connects and brought to you by... Oh, wait, is there a sponsorship opportunity there? Learn more at accessconnects.com.